And there's more film music of a vintage kind in Chris Ellis's view of that great entertainer Al Jolson, coming to you on 2 at 12:30 tonight. And don't forget Cinema 2, back in its usual slot of 5 o'clock next Saturday, presented by Charles Nove. Radio 2. Now it's 7:30, and for the next hour, your host is Alan Dell.
Hello again, and good evening. Off we go to the archives once again for a few more Dance Band Days requests, 78s in the main. But the first one was reissued on an LP a fair while ago now, in 1974. It's one of my favourite earlier Jack Hyltons, and the tune is a special request from Mrs. Laney Gardner of Dewsbury Moor, Dewsbury, West Yorkshire, who's been trying for years to get a nice version of You're the Cream in My Coffee. Mrs. Gardner, just in case you or a friend has the opportunity to go looking, I'll give you the title and the number of this LP afterwards, but listen first to Jack Hylton in May 1929 with your favourite. The vocalist is Sam Brown, and after his chorus there's a nice trumpet solo, and it's played by Jack Jackson. You remember his record programs, I'm sure. Oh, and many happy returns for your 70th birthday a little while back.
My stew, you will always be my necessity. I'd be lost without you. You're the starch in my collar, you're the lace in my shoe. You will always be my necessity. I'd be lost without you. Most men tell love tales, and each phrase dovetails. You've heard each known way. This way is my own way. You're the sail of my love boat. You're the captain and crew. You will always be my necessity. I'd be lost without you.
Jack Hylton and Sam Brown with You're the Cream in My Coffee. That version is on a World Records album called Good News, as I said, issued in 1974, so now probably only available in some shop dealing with second-hand LPs. The number is SH218, World Records SH218 for Good News. I had a note from Eric Holmes of Cheltenham, Gloucestershire, telling me that Mick Burberry, who played alto sax, clarinet and baritone sax and joined Billy Cotton in 1930 and stayed forever, was 90 on September the 3rd. Very best wishes to you, Mick. Sorry I couldn't play something last week, but we had our Squadron Air special, of course. But I have found one of the titles you listed, Mr. Holmes. Here's Two Hearts on a Tree, recorded by Bill Cotton's band on August the 30th, 1934. And is that you, Mick, with the brief solo bars near the end? Your sax section colleague, Chips Chippendale, is the vocalist, and I hope all is well with you, Chips.
Playmates, and then when we grew, remember I found my first sweetheart in you. I thought it was love without end when we drew two hearts on a tree. I smile when I think of the fun that we got in keeping a secret, that wonderful spot. How madly we loved, but how soon we forgot, two hearts on a tree. The other day I walked that way, dear, for the first time in years. The woods were strange, they'd seen a change, dear, that filled my eyes with tears. And branches are bare now that used to be green, and leaves hide the pathway that wandered between. And all that remains of the great might have been two hearts on a tree.
Billy Cotton and his band in 1934 with Chips Chippendale and Two Hearts on a Tree, especially for Mick Burberry, who played on just about every Bill Cotton record from 1930 onwards. Once again, happy birthday wishes for your 90th last Monday, Mick. Oh, I must tell you, Eric Holmes told me that Mick still pops down to the gym regularly for a workout. At 90? I bet he's fitter than I am. The next record I'm playing is for a lovely lady, Pat Barclay, wife of the late George Barclay, who is the singer with Charlie Kunz and the Kasani Club Orchestra on this Rex 78 from August 1935. It's the Harry Parr Davis song, Love is Everywhere.
like a melody without an ending. To its strains a million hearts are blending. Love is everywhere. Love is everywhere. In the magic mystery of moonlight, in the haunting splendor of a June night, love is everywhere. If by a stroke of chance my heart should find romance, I'll do my best to make it stay. I hope someday maybe this love will come to me, whatever fate may send my way. Love is everywhere. In the words these lips of mine are singing, even in the dreams the night is bringing, love is everywhere.
You enjoyed hearing that again, Pat. Love is Everywhere, Charlie Kunz and the Kasani Club Orchestra, and the voice of the late George Barclay. As a matter of fact, I have 2 takes of that. That was take 2, and the trombone player right at the end doesn't fluff it. As I mentioned last week, I shall be away for the next couple of Mondays. George Chisholm will be occupying the Dance Band Days chair, and Don Lusher will be among the big band sounds. That's next week. The week after that, George Elric will be the dance bander, and Ken McIntosh, the big bander. So before I take a break and too much time goes by, let me remind you of that historically interesting compact disc that came along a week or 3 ago, The Air Checks of the BBC Dance Orchestra, directed by Henry Hall in 1936. The CD has a complete show with guest Johnny Mercer. That was the broadcast of Tuesday, August the 4th, 1936. And there are excerpts from 2 further broadcasts, the late-night shows of Saturday, September the 26th and October the 24th, 1936. I've taken a tune from each of those last 2 shows, and they demonstrate, I think, just how polished the orchestra was. The vocalists, in order, are Dan Donovan and then the aforementioned George Elric. Details of the CD immediately afterwards.
Whistle, bound to make you whistle. Swing your little jingle that gives you a tingle. It's bound to make you whistle all the time. This'll make you happy, really make you happy. It will make you mingle and wish you were single and make you want to sing a little rhyme. It will put an end to your labor. It will turn December into June. It will make a friend of your neighbor, even if you don't know how to carry a tune. This'll make you whistle, bound to make you whistle. Start you off on Monday and right through to Sunday. It's bound to make you whistle all the time.
Henry Hall speaking. And now we continue with Sing Me a Swing Song.
A song that's robust, feeling the way I am. Any old band'll go bust if it ain't got that jam. When a buddy meets a buddy on a ballroom floor, then a buddy asks a buddy, what's a swing band for? Oh baby, I don't want you to croon soft and mellow. Let me warn you in advance, sing me a swing song and let me dance. Oh baby, I don't want any moon bright and yellow. You can have your sweet romance, sing me a swing song and let me dance. Say, Mr. Trombone, play some corn, I ain't caring what note. Mr. Trumpet, grab a horn, brother, give me hot notes. Oh baby, I don't want any tune on a cello. Give the rhythm man a chance, sing me a swing song and let me dance.
Two numbers, This'll Make You Whistle, sung by Dan Donovan, and Sing Me a Swing Song, sung by George Elric, with Henry Hall and the BBC Dance Orchestra, taken from broadcasts in 1936. Just two items from a 59-minute compact disc called Henry Hall's Hour, Volume 1, which is on the Radiogram label. The number is RGM 001. There's also a cassette version on Radiogram REGM 001. Fascinating to hear the band captured live on those broadcasts 54 years ago. Didn't they sound good too? Back in June, I raised the question of what happened to Frances Day at the instigation of John Clinton Hewson of Wilton, Ross-on-Wye in Herefordshire. He had searched for information about her but had reached a dead end. Well, as a result of the question on this programme, I had several letters from, Stanley Ager of Barnet-in-Herts for one, Reginald Hearn of Henley-on-Thames for another, and Mr. F. Wilmington of Maidenhead, which is where Frances Day retired to for the last 15 or 20 years of her life. She died apparently some 2 to 2.5 years ago, a recluse, I believe denying that she was Frances Day and had anything to do with show business. Mr. Reginald Hearn, in fact, wrote that she had befriended at one time a now late relative of his, but when she died, the only friend Frances Day had was her solicitor. Well, it's a strange and sad story for one who was so lovely, so vivacious, and such a star. I have a record here that she made for Decca in 1941. It's typical of the sort of song that Frances Day performed so beautifully. Unfortunately, the recording quality and surface of this old 78 rather mars the performance. However, bear with that if you will. This is a song that Carol Gibbons also recorded pretty well, titled I Love You So. Well, Carol did stutter slightly. Accompanying Frances Day are J. Wilbur's Serenaders.
something beyond their control. Even Mr. Fox and Mr. Rabbit, even Sir Mackerel and Lady Soul. And I am no exception to the rule. Since I met you, ooh, Clark Gable, I stutter like a fool. I love you so, I need you so, I will want to know with you. Love me too, as much as I love you. I did to dream that we could closely be together all life through, and proudly own a bungalow for two. When I'm alone, here's the talk as others do. But when I talk to you, I stammer and stutter and only can utter a single word or two. I go guess that I am just too shy. It's just so sad, but oh, it's true. I need you so, I love you so, I do. I love you so, and I need you so. I will want to know with you. Love me too, as much as I love you. I did to dream that we could closely be together all night through, and proudly own a bungalow for two. When I'm alone, yes, I talk as others do. Oh, but when I talk to you, I just stammer and stutter and only can utter a single word or two. I go guess that I am just too shy. It's just so sad, but oh, it's true. I need you so, I love you so, I love you so, I love you so, I do.
The well-remembered Francis Day, great star, recorded there in 1941 with I Love You So, written, I believe, by Harry Jacobson, pianist with Carol at some time. And I think I heard John Benson mention a little bit earlier that Francis Day will be on his program between 7 and 7:30 next week. Neville Pallister writes on a card, I think from Harrow in Middlesex, that he would like to hear a Joe Loss record from October 1944, recorded, I suppose you would say at that time, somewhere in England. Actually, it was the Palace Theatre in Manchester. Harry Kay is the vocalist in Time Waits for No One.
waits for no one. It passes you by. It rolls on forever, like the clouds in the sky. Time waits for no one, goes on endlessly. It's just like a river flowing out to the sea. You'll find imagine that love is like this. Each precious moment we miss will never ever return again. So don't let us throw one sweet moment away. Time waits for no one. Let's take love while we may.
Joe Loss and his orchestra in 1944 with Time Waits for No One, the voice of Harry Cade. Our tribute to Joe Loss, which will have music from before and after that on October the 7th at the Birmingham Hippodrome, is, I believe, a virtual sellout, which is absolutely wonderful. Todd Miller will be conducting the Joe Loss Orchestra, and special guests are Vince Hill and Frankie Vaughan, Lionel Blair and Peggy Spencer are going to be dancing, and we'll also welcome the return of such great Joe Loss vocalists as Rose Brennan, Ross McManus and Larry Gretton. And all proceeds go to Age Concern, the president of which is Richard Todd, and he'll be introducing the evening while yours truly, I hope, introduces all the music. While I'm about, which is what I'm about to do with our last Dance Band Days record, which is for Kay Flanagan in Swinton, Mexborough, South Yorkshire, who would like any bright and breezy Sid Phillips record for him and his wife. Well, let's see. How about Indiana, which has lots of Sid's sparkling clarinet? Bit of Sid Phillips, his clarinet and band playing Indiana, ending our Dance Band Days for this evening. George Chisholm with some records for you next Monday, and big band sounds from me after the news.
Radio 2.
good one to start things off in this section. On the Sunny Side of the Street, in an arrangement from Les Brown's Band of Renown. And if a few of you are saying to yourselves, oh, I wish he'd played the Tommy Dorsey version, well, I do have some Dorsey for you a little later. A new CD of some live air shots. I also have one or maybe two requested items, which are all in the mono mode, so I'll save those for the moment while we indulge in a little more of those stereo sounds. Live sounds here too. Benny Goodman in Brussels in May 1958. Stealing Apples. Roland Hanna on piano. Benny Goodman at the World's Fair in Brussels in 1958, playing one of his all-time favourites, Fats Waller's Stealing Apples, for an audience of some 10,000, I believe, on the last night. As I said, Roland Hanna was on piano, it was Taft Jordan on trumpet. That and many other Benny Goodman items from all sources were reissued or first-time issued in the Time Life Swing Era series, and also in that collection there was this, one of the tributes paid to the Jimmy Lunsford Band. In the early days of stereo, Billy May recorded an album saluting Lunsford with a goodly number of ex-Lunsford musicians, Willie Smith, Joe Thomas, etc. And he added to the set for the swing era recordings, and this is one of those, Cy Oliver's Dream of You, with a vocal by another ex-Lunsfordian, Trummy Young.
Gee, but I'm blue, I'm so lonely, I don't know what to do but dream of you, just dream of you. Dreams don't come true, still I can't keep from dreaming dreams of you, that's all I do, just dream of you. There once was a time when I called you mine, then I lost you and with you gone, life no longer seemed half so fine. So I sit here blue, I'm so lonely, there's nothing left to do but dream of you, just dream of you.
Recreation of Jimmy Lunsford's 1934 recording of Dream of You, and Billy May paying his respects to a musician that he greatly admired, Cy Oliver, much of whose simple swinging style Billy incorporated into his own work later. Even as I speak, Billy is preparing to, or in fact is actually winging his way across the Atlantic for our Royal Festival Hall concert next Saturday evening, in which he will conduct the BBC Big Band. Barry Forgy will also be there for bits and pieces. Selena Jones is a guest, and so is trumpeter Kenny Baker and his All-Stars. Do come along and help say thank you to Billy for all the great work that he's done in a wonderful career as arranger for his own trend-setting orchestra, and also for his wonderful accompaniments for stars like Ella Fitzgerald and Peggy Lee, Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney, and of course Frank Sinatra. Well, the man is a legend. The concert begins at 7:30 and will be produced by Ray Harvey, who is also responsible for the BBC's annual National Big Band competition. So, if you play in a big band of good standard, why not think of entering this year? There are trophies, as I've said before on many occasions, for senior and junior bands, as well as individual prizes for soloists, arrangers, and composers. Now, all bands must have original music written for the band in their entry. And the winning bands and soloists will be invited to London next February to record a concert for broadcast here on Radio 2. Entry is through BBC Radio, and the closing date is at the end of November, so you have, a little over a couple of months, but don't leave it until the last moment, will you? If you'd like a copy of the rules and an entry form, please write to National Big Band Competition, Radio 2, BBC Radio, London, W1A 1AA, and please enclose a large stamped addressed envelope. I'll give you the address again. It's the National Big Band Competition, Radio 2, BBC Radio, London, W1A 1AA. Now, on to those requests that I mentioned. Jack